There's a number sitting in your cat's future right now, and where you draw one invisible line decides whether that number is 4 or 22. Most owners who keep their cats indoors carry a quiet, nagging guilt about it, a low hum of feeling that they've locked something wild behind glass. But I've spent my whole career in exam rooms watching the exact opposite truth walk through my door, and today I'm going to show you the real figures, the actual mechanisms inside your cat's body, and the 5 things happening to an indoor cat that almost nobody ever bothered to explain to you. One of them, the 5th one, may hand you the power to catch a silent killer disease months before it ever shows its face, and it only works because your cat lives inside. Stay with me, because that last one is the one I'd write on the back of every cat owner's hand if they'd let me. Let me tell you who I am quickly so you know these aren't just opinions. I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett, and I've spent decades with my hands on cats, the healthy ones, the sick ones, and the ones who were carried in far, far too late. And if there is one pattern that has burned itself into me over all those years, it's this. The cats who live long, calm, deeply bonded lives are, overwhelmingly, the ones who never had to fight the outdoors to survive. That guilt you've been carrying, I want to trade it today for something far more useful. I want to trade it for understanding. Before we get into it, I have to mention one thing because it matters here. For years, clients would stand up to leave my exam room and ask me the very same question at the door. They'd say, "Can you just write all of this down for me somewhere?" All the little warning signs to watch for, the enrichment tricks, the daily checks, the simple home setups that turn an ordinary apartment into a cat's paradise. So I finally sat down and put every single one of my recommendations into one guide, the one I wish every new cat owner had in their hands on day one. If the peace of mind we're about to talk about matters to you, that guide is the whole roadmap, and you can grab it at the link in the description or in the pinned comment. All right, let's get into what is really happening to your cat. Number 1, they are living years, sometimes close to a full decade, longer than they ever could outside. Here are the honest numbers, the ones I've watched play out again and again. A well-cared-for indoor cat routinely lives 14 to 18 years, and it is not rare at all for one to reach 20, 21, even 22. The oldest cat ever documented made it to 38. Now hold that against a cat with full outdoor access. When researchers study unowned stray and feral cats, cats living the so-called free life, the average lifespan lands somewhere between 2 and 5 years, and a heartbreaking number never see their second birthday. Same animal, same instincts, same DNA down to the whisker. The only variable that changed is a door. And here is why that gap is so brutal, because the outdoors doesn't kill cats slowly. It kills them by ambush. To a car at 40 miles an hour on a dark road, your cat is invisible, and a cat's freeze in the headlights reflex is exactly the wrong instinct at exactly the wrong moment. To a coyote, a loose dog, or a great horned owl, that cat isn't a hunter at all, it's the hunted. Then come the poisons. Antifreeze is the one that haunts me. Because ethylene glycol tastes sweet, cats will lap it up willingly, and it takes only about a teaspoon and a half to kill a 10-pound cat, with kidney failure setting in before the owner even suspects anything is wrong. Rat bait tucked in a neighbor's garage does the same quiet damage. And then the diseases that spread cat to cat, feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus, both pass through bites and grooming, both invisible for months, both far more common in the outdoor cat population. None of these threats knock first. That's the horror of it. One ordinary evening, the cat simply doesn't come home, and the owner spends the next several years replaying it. Your indoor cat will never be that story, and you erased every one of those threats not by luck, but by one small decision you make and remake every single time you close that door. Number 2, you always know exactly where they are, and that certainty is doing more for both of you than you realize. Every owner of an outdoor cat knows the ritual. Standing at a screen door near midnight, calling a name into the dark, waiting for a shape to slide into the edge of the porch light. Some nights the shape appears, some nights it doesn't, and the not knowing is its own particular kind of torture. You have never had to live inside that dread, and it's easy to forget what a gift that is, because peace of mind is invisible. You only ever notice it in the moment it's ripped away. In your home, the worst-case scenario is 30 seconds of mild panic before a pair of unimpressed eyes blinks at you from behind the couch. But underneath that convenience is something biological, and this is the part almost nobody connects. A cat's brain is built at its very core to monitor and defend a territory. Out in the world, that job is never finished. There are rival toms crossing the yard, unfamiliar scents at every border, threats that shift by the hour, and the cat's stress system, its cortisol, its constant low-grade vigilance, never fully powers down. Inside your home, that entire territory is mapped, controlled, uncontested, and crucially, shared with you. In your cat's mind, they do not live in a smaller world. They live in a solved one. And a cat that has solved its world stops pouring its energy into survival. It starts pouring that energy into you. If this is already lifting some of that guilt off your shoulders, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe so this reaches the owners who still think they got it wrong. Number 3, their bond with you grows measurably deeper indoors, and there's real science underneath that. Have you ever wondered why your cat talks to you, follows you room to room, and yells at you like you're supposed to understand every syllable? Here's something wild. Adult cats barely meow at one another at all. The meow is a language cats developed almost entirely to communicate with us, and indoor cats become genuinely fluent in it, because you become the single most interesting thing in their entire territory. An outdoor cat splits its social attention across a whole neighborhood, rivals to track, borders to patrol, prey to stalk, and its human gets whatever focus is left over, which is exactly why so many outdoor cats treat home like a hotel. Check in, eat, sleep, check out. Your indoor cat made a completely different investment. All of that social bandwidth, the watching, the learning, the vocalizing, gets concentrated on you. That's why they know the specific sound of your car, why they've sorted out which footsteps mean food and which just mean you're getting water, why they're waiting at the door before your key touches the lock. And this isn't sentiment, it's documented. In a well-known study out of Oregon State University, researchers ran the same attachment test used on human infants and found that roughly 65% of cats formed a secure attachment to their owners, seeking them out as a genuine source of safety, a rate strikingly close to what we see in human babies with their parents. People call that dependence like it's a flaw, but dependence built on trust has another name. It's called closeness. So the next time your cat screams at you for no reason at 6 in the evening, understand what's really happening. They built an entire language just for you. Not bad for an animal everyone insists is aloof. Number 4, they are not missing out the way you picture, and I want to dismantle that picture completely. When you imagine your cat's dream life, you probably see grass, sunshine, butterflies at golden hour, a wild meadow. Here's the uncomfortable truth. That image is yours. It's a human idea of freedom projected onto an animal whose brain works nothing like ours. A cat's sense of well-being rests on 3 specific pillars, and I want you to memorize them: secure territory, predictable resources, and control over its environment. Notice what is not on that list. Novelty, adventure, open horizons, those are human cravings. To a cat, the unknown is not thrilling. The unknown is a threat that hasn't introduced itself yet. That is precisely why your cat interrogates a new grocery bag like it might be armed, and why sliding the couch 2 feet across the room triggers a full forensic investigation. Now run the outdoors through those 3 pillars. Territory outside is never secure. It's contested every single night by cats your cat never agreed to share a block with. Resources out there are unpredictable by definition. And control? An outdoor cat controls almost nothing, which is exactly why its stress hormones and its watchfulness never switch all the way off. Your home flips all 3. The territory is theirs and undisputed. The resources arrive on a reliable schedule from a large, mostly cooperative mammal, and the control is total. They know every surface, every hiding spot, every sunbeam's arrival time down to the minute. When your cat chooses the same windowsill at the same hour every day, that is not boredom. That is mastery, and mastery is what contentment looks like in a cat. But you can absolutely hand them the good parts of the outside on your terms. And here is exactly how. Build vertical space. Cats measure territory and height, not just floor. So give them cat trees and cleared shelves. Feed them through puzzle feeders and split their food into 4 or 5 small meals a day. Because a cat in the wild eats roughly 10 to 20 tiny mouse-sized meals daily, and their body is wired for the hunt and catch rhythm. Rotate 2 or 3 toys at a time instead of leaving everything out, so old toys feel new again. Set up a screened window perch or a bird feeder just outside the glass for what I call cat television. And if you want real fresh air, build a catio or leash train them slowly with a harness. The point was never that outside has nothing to offer. The point is that your cat never needed to gamble its life to get the good parts. Number 5, you can see what they are physically incapable of telling you, and this is the moment I promised you at the very start, because this one might one day save your cat's life. Here is the wiring behind it. Your cat evolved as both predator and prey, and in the wild, any animal that visibly shows weakness instantly becomes a target. So cats developed one of the most stubborn survival instincts in all of nature. Hide the pain, mask the illness, act completely normal until the body simply can't fake it anymore. It is not a choice your cat makes. It's an instinct older than the species, and it works against them every single day. Ask any veterinarian what makes feline medicine so hard, and we will all tell you the same thing. By the time a cat looks sick, the disease has often been there for months, sometimes years. And here's the part almost nobody frames correctly. The earliest signs of the conditions that most often take cats from us, chronic kidney disease, diabetes, hyperthyroidism, and urinary blockage, do not show up in how your cat behaves. They show up in the small, boring physical evidence of daily life. And that evidence only lands somewhere you can see it because your cat lives inside. So here are the exact numbers to watch. A healthy cat drinks roughly 3.5 to 4.5 ounces of water per 5 pounds of body weight per day. So a 10-pound cat drinking noticeably more than a cup a day is a red flag for kidneys or diabetes. Bigger or more frequent clumps in the litter box mean the same thing. Weight loss is the sneakiest one of all, because a cat can lose a dangerous amount slowly while eating what looks like a normal amount. So my single best trick is this. Once a week, put your cat on a kitchen scale, and if you see even 8 ounces disappear over a month or 2, you call your vet. And the one true emergency, the one every owner must know, is a cat, especially a male, straining in the litter box and producing nothing, because a urinary blockage can turn fatal within a day or 2. An outdoor cat's owner sees none of this. Their cat drinks from a puddle, urinates in a garden 3 houses down, throws up under a hedge, and quietly walks it off. And the one instinct working against that cat stays perfectly hidden because the evidence is scattered across an entire neighborhood. But your indoor cat cannot hide from you. That litter box you scoop every day is a medical chart. That water bowl is a lab test you're running without even knowing it. You will notice a change in days that an outdoor cat's owner would miss for months. And with these diseases, months are everything. Months are the whole difference between a condition we manage comfortably for years and a goodbye that arrives far too soon. So the next time that guilt whispers to you that you're depriving them, I want you to remember what you actually gave them. You gave them a decade of extra life, a world with no ambushes in it, a bond built on being their entire universe, a territory they've completely mastered, and a set of watchful eyes that can catch trouble while there's still time to fix it. That door you close isn't a cage. It's the single most protective thing you do for them, every single day. Now, one honest word before you go. I'm a veterinarian, but I'm not your cat's veterinarian, and nothing I've said today is a substitute for a real exam. Everything here is educational, meant to make you a sharper, more confident observer, not to replace the person who can actually put their hands on your cat. If anything I described sounds familiar, if the water bowl's emptying faster, if the scale's creeping down, if the litter box looks off, please pick up the phone and call your own vet. You are your cat's first line of defense. Let them be the second. Take good care of them, and they'll take good care of you right back.